We have a new shipment of delights from our friends at RoboRosewater.
Ooh. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, if we want to see some nonsense magic cards.
Always.
So these are, as we've been looking at these for, gosh, darn near half a decade now, probably. So just as a reminder, if you're unfamiliar, these are made with a machine learning algorithm or a
Markov chain.
Markov chain generator. Yeah, these are not like.
These are not generative AI.
Yeah, and the art is either hand drawn or sourced from public domain. So the art is also not generative AI.
Public domain. Made by humans. Free to steal.
So let's.
It's legally not stealing, Ian. That's the whole point.
More fun if it is.
It was given.
Oh God, I can see. You can already see the first one. I spoiled myself with the first one. All right. Primal Hunger is an artifact vehicle, crew 4, and for 9 and tap, it escapes.
Oh god, this card sucks.
For 9 and tap, go home.
Like, where did my primal hunger go?
What zone
It escaped.
go to?
It escapes.
Whatever zone it's not in?
It's just
Well,
gone.
escape is a thing, so it comes out of the graveyard?
Yeah. You just have to tap it
Yeah,
in the
some-
graveyard.
Hey, wait a second.
Yeah, you have to have the card "it" in your graveyard.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it.
too have had a girlfriend who's a goth.
It looks like Johnny's trying to figure something out.
The "it" card coming from
No?
forthcoming.
Okay.
Adam's family.
Let us advance to the next card. Zalfirin Quest. 2 red for a 4/4 legendary gargoyle. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Whenever it attacks, scry 1, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card that shares a creature type with a card that shares a card type with a card named Zalfirin Quest, put that card onto the battlefield tab and shuffle.
What?
Hold
And reveal the if it's creature card.
That shares a creature type with a card that shares a card type with a card named Zalfirin Quest.
Okay. If it's okay.
All right, hold up. If it's a creature card, so it has to be a
Has
creature
to be a
card.
creature.
That shares a creature type with a card.
Any card.
That shares a card type with a card named Zalfirin Quest. So if it's a creature,
So any
So wait,
gargoyle.
if you have another legend, oh, it shares a creature type. Okay.
I think
No,
it's just
card
if, I think it's just if it's a legendary or a creature.
Creature card.
Isn't it any other legendary
has to be creature
gargoyle?
type.
Because
We gotta work
if it's a
backwards.
creature card that shares a creature type, that's another gargoyle. But that gargoyle
The only
has
way
to
it's-
also share a card type with this card, which is
So it
legendary.
has to be a
creature.
legendary gargoyle.
So it has to be a legendary gargoyle.
No, any
It was a
creature
creature that shares
gargoyle
a
will
creature
work.
type.
It doesn't have to be a legendary.
It's a creature.
Well, no, it's if it shares.
Otherwise, it'll have to be a gargoyle.
It's if it shares a creature type with a card that shares a card type with Zalfirin Quest. So as long as this card shares a type with any card that's a legendary creature, I don't think it has to be a gargoyle at all.
So as long as it's not a token, we're good.
I want a white.
I think it's just a legendary creature.
You're right. You scry 1, reveal the top card of your library. If that card is a creature
Yeah.
Which it is. Let's say
that shares a creature type, so you're now another
it has to share a creature type with something else somewhere on the board.
or another creature that's the same creature type as the one you've just scried, and then that has to also be a legendary creature to match this card. So yeah, you're right.
Well,
you're right.
I think it's just if it's a
any other-
legendary creature.
Yeah, any other legendary creature that shares
There's
a creature
I like
type
this art,
with
by the way.
another card.
With something
that's
else
some of
that's
the-
a legendary
there's a
creature.
missing article there though. It just has to share a creature type with a
Oh, wait.
card, not a card on the battlefield or in your hand.
Oh!
Just as long as
card.
such a card exists.
Any card. That's yeah. Wait, hang on. What actually happens?
You put it on the battlefield.
Oh!
Tapped.
Tapped!
And then shuffle
Tapped.
after scrying 1.
Yeah.
Shout out to the hand-drawn art here. All right, next. Gale Page, 3 red for an enchantment with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, target creature an opponent controls fights target player's hand.
Yeah! Get him!
Stand.
These alchemy cards.
Get him! If you win that fight, do they discard their hand?
To understand.
Everyone knows this, but I'm saying this for myself. These are obviously not real cards.
Do they fight your hand of cards or your actual hand?
They fight your
as
actual hand.
depicted?
Looking at the art, they got the knight fighting
Love
the
it.
hand.
We use natural language here.
Terrific. Next. Hulk of Keld.
Yep.
X and 1 for a 3/4 vehicle with crew 2. Tap to add blue. Spend this mana only to cast a spell without paying its mana cost.
Okay, wait, this card's kind of cracked though.
Yeah.
This is a 1 mana vehicle. It's a 3/4 with crew 2. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, what's the X for?
Nothing.
It's for
Grant,
vibes.
don't ask stupid questions.
So you can flip it for value.
You could just spend more mana on it if you want.
If you want.
To save yourself from mana burn.
It's like if you have something that cares about the mana value of the spell in the stack, then it's better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be anything.
it could.
Next.
Could be a bug.
Reservoir's Boon. 2 red sorcery.
Oh,
Reservoir's
Reservoir Wet.
Boon deals 4 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. That player or planeswalker's controller controls the rest of the
Whoa,
game.
what? Whoa.
Talk about value.
This is why we don't play with it.
Player or the planeswalker's controller. I mean,
That's a
for 3 mana, this card sucks.
They have the conch.
There's a little Kingmaker card in like Commander.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is an auto-include in any commander deck that's
Like, all right, I'm gonna kill your creature, but you get to control the rest of the game.
What? Okay.
It's not even a creature. It's literally just dome someone for
Just
4
burn their
or
face.
planeswalker, and then they just get to make the game go the
So
way.
if it's 4 mana to kill them, then fine.
Yeah, then it's good.
Otherwise, they control the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just mind slaver yourself forever.
Target your own planeswalker.
Oh yeah, because it's not. All right. Well, this is super bust
Okay.
Wombo combo.
Okay, so you need to have a planeswalker in play, and then
Yep.
this wins the game.
Yep.
3 mana, if you control a planeswalker, you win the game.
Good. I like your art, Coco Mix. Next. Volshock Axe. That's a big axe. 2 and black for a 0/22 human soldier. When Volshock Axe becomes blocked by a creature, you may conjure a duplicate of an opponent. And the spell costs 1 less to cast. Wait, hold on. There's a sentence there there's a clause that doesn't do anything.
You just.
Yeah.
Where's Flat Andrew when you?
You may conjure a duplicate of an opponent, and you gain the spell costs
Correct.
1 less to cast.
Nice.
So if you become a spell,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
true.
cost 1 less to cast.
We don't. There could be a card that makes you into a spell. I guess we don't know that. That's a great point.
And this relies on somebody blocking a creature with 0 power.
A 0/22.
Just like it in a defender.
But
deck, you're
it's
good to
cake
go.
to all
It's not a
get out.
defender.
No?
You can attack
can
a
attack.
defender deck
Attack.
without
That's true.
defender.
There's that one from was it Crimson Vow? The zombie that you tap a creature to deal damage equal to its toughness. Remember there was that like thick zombie like deck in the limited format? Yeah. This is great for high alert. Yeah, all right, fair enough. This slots into Doran. Don't say that.
So it's just also a human soldier.
Yeah. Also, you get to make a second friend with the, I guess.
Yeah.
Tiny axe blades
That's
on it.
sweet. This is a cheap
Please
way to
block.
make a
Your
duper.
duplicate can come live with me.
You're just sending a really big message.
Yup. Next.
Please block.
Oryx, the Primeval.
Nice.
3 Orzhov blue for a Cinder creature. It's a 5/5. As long as it is in your library, you win the game.
Sick.
Pretty good.
Auto include.
So mulligan to 0.
Yeah.
And win.
Win the game.
Great.
Is it possible to win the game during mulligans? Like, can you just be like, oh, I'll land, I win?
I think you
Like-
have to make sure you don't have the play too.
Right.
State,
I know
yeah.
that was the joke in Urza's block, but
Right.
games are decided during mulligans, but I don't think that's actually possible.
Excuse me, I have a pregame action. I win.
This is my commander. Well, then you don't win. You gotta get it in your library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Condemn.
I condemn my own Oryx the Primeval.
I choose not to put it in the command zone.
What if both players have this card? Active player, non-active
player,
player.
That resolved in opposite order?
Sucks to
I
be
don't know, it's not
non-active
a
player, I
trigger.
guess.
Who's active player during mulligans?
Whoever won the die roll,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is to say, skill issue.
Whoever's taller.
Urza's Stronghold. It's a land that costs 4 generic mana. It taps for green or white, and for red and white, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land, you may reveal it. If you do, you may reveal that card and reveal them, then shuffle.
Sick!
Nice. Urza famously Naya?
4 mana with 4 reveals.
So you go, look at this card. Oh, it's a land. I reveal it.
Look at it. You just like, look.
Have you ever wondered if your opponent has object permanence? Strongholds.
It's a free shuffle for 2 mana.
That's not true.
No, it's 6 mana.
So you know there's a land there, but yeah.
That's true, that's broken.
4 generic mana to make your land drop for the turn. That's rough. Right. Next. Darge Bridge.
I read that as Darge Barge first.
It's a 9/9 giant warrior with haste. When Darge Bridge enters the battlefield, target opponent guesses the heir, the party, or artifact. Choose wisely.
What happens if I choose wrong?
What's the card from Conspiracy that lets people like make an extra choice or something like that? Or whenever player makes choices, I don't know.
I choose air and artifacts.
Guesses the heir.
Busted.
This really needs an Oxford comma. The heir,
Yeah.
the party, or artifact. The party or artifacts. Guesses the heir. Yeah, all right. Darge Bridge.
Are they using artifacts as a verb there?
That was my question. Is it's like
Just
you either
become
guess
artifacts.
or you artifact.
Yeah, they guess the heir, the party, or they're gonna artifact. So I mean, it is a 6 mana 9/9 with haste, which is
Yeah.
not bad. 2 relevant subtypes potentially.
Giant warrior?
Giant
Pretty
or
good.
warrior kindred decks can be things that happen. Next, Mara of the Sand.
Oh god.
2 and a white for a creature, apparently. When it enters the battlefield, you may cast the spell. You may cast a spell, this spell. You may cast a spell, this spell. You may cast a card.
I also like it's not when Mara of the Sand enters the battlefield,
Nope.
it's just Mara of the Sand enters the battlefield.
I'm going to read that again. Mara of the Sand enters the battlefield. You may cast this spell. You may cast a spell, this spell. You may cast a spell, this spell. You may cast a card. Wow.
And then it just dies. Because it doesn't have any power to
I love that the art is just recursive showcase frames.
That was it.
I assume
Streets.
I assume that's just a way of saying uncounterable. It's like I cast this. Oh, okay. I counter. No.
I make
This enters the battlefield.
Okay.
All right, then.
Can't cast that spell.
Well, then
No,
I can cast
I
this
may
spell.
cast this spell.
I may cast this spell. I may cast a spell. Which spell? This spell. I may cast a spell. Which spell? This spell. Third base.
What's the artist credit on that card?
The card itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. Phileas Romanus says this feels like what you get if you tried to design a card while suffering carbon monoxide. It's like that like infamous Reddit post of someone being like, someone keeps leaving passive aggressive post-it notes in my place. I've talked to my landlord about it. He swears it's not him. I don't understand what's going on. They're getting more aggressive. And people were like, have you checked do you have a carbon monoxide detector? And then like a week later they came back and they're like, yo, I almost died. And yeah, I was leaving those notes for myself and then passing out and not remembering.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, classic. Next. Oh no. It's a 2/4 for 3. When it enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target non-land permanent into an opponent.
Oh god. Oh god. You ask first. Ask. Before you put a non-land permanent into an opponent.
There's not a lot. It's the card art is very helpful here.
I'm gonna come over there and insert a large garden gnome in you.
Next time someone's comboing out, just go, yeah, here you go. Take it.
Eat it.
If you wash it with Dawn dish soap, there's a good chance your opponent will volunteer.
Why is it a cephalid?
How is it going in the ear widthways? Like, shouldn't you roll it first?
So is this playable in cephalid breakfast? Because you eat it?
It's not a may. No, it's up to 1.
Yeah, you don't have to if you don't
You can
want to.
choose not to.
zero.
You can target no non-land permanents.
If you were gonna put a non-land permanent into your opponent,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
what would you choose?
Great question, Rachel.
Chaos
Thanks for
confetti.
asking.
Depends on who I'm playing. What do they have in their deck that makes me sad?
A food token.
Aw, that's nice.
Next.
That's
Spyglass
good.
off. 3 and a blue for an enchantment. Whenever it attacks, add blue, black, or red. And for 3 and a red, sacrifice a booster pack. Target creature opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Others, they say it's popping at its commandable the undergrowth. I'm sorry, I think I had it
So you
mild passing out there. Others, they say it's popping at its commandal the undergrowth.
Yes.
Nope, that didn't help. All right.
I'm picturing a small brazier next to the gaming table, and you just have to take the pack out of your pocket and just put it in the fire.
Others say that it's popping at its commandable, the undergrowth.
See, initially I thought it was like take the spyglass off, but now I realize it's you and the creature are having a spyglass off. You sacrifice a booster pack and then hit it with the spyglass.
That's off.
That's how I know my brain is broken, is I look at this card that
Face
clearly
wet.
doesn't exist, and I'm like, how can I make this enchantment attack?
I was
Like, if you have Bellow of the Brambles in play, you can get this to attack. Adding 2 mana is pretty good. Just ignore the rest.
but even if you can't, you can still activate the sacrifice a booster pack ability.
Oh, jeez, it should be great
Just
for
gotta go
Dredge.
buy a booster pack.
It'd be great for Dredge.
Those tournaments
Does
happen
this,
at the gaming. This is local gaming
This
store
is
anyway.
really pay to win.
this might go into aristocrats. Sacrifice a whole booster pack?
Nice,
So
that's
much
like
in your
6
graveyard.
creatures.
Yeah. Do we have more? We have a few more, I think. Probation Warden.
Oh god.
Phyrexian Blue Pirate with Devoid. Tap. All becomes 5.
I love the watermarks. The watermarks
Amazing. Oh, you just know in the like the design article for this card, they were like, we really tried to make the mana value 5, but it just wasn't balanced.
Set symbol is also 5.
Gavin's gonna be so annoyed that he had to make this cost 6.
Just the flavor of this being a 5/4 is disastrous.
And then just tap it, and suddenly it's a 5/5 because all becomes
All
5.
becomes 5.
I have to very quickly interject here. I was rubbing my head because there was a little itch on the scalp. Pulled my hand back and discovered one of my decals from the ripoff.
Oh my god!
I've apparently been a Xeon mech for the last 8 hours.
That's why you've been going so fast.
Amazing.
All becomes 5 sounds like a thing that your kid says to you in the dark, and you're like, nope, I can't think about what that means.
Okay, good night.
All becomes 5. Prepare for death.
Okay. Love you too. Click.
What's Devoid? It means that it's colorless, but you still have to cast it for black mana.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 5.
Right, sorry, it's also 5, yes. Next, we've got Headley Ranger. Tap to add no mana of any color.
That artwork is... Wow.
It's just a wizard in green is just wrong.
The fact that it's no mana and not 0, because if it was 0 mana, there's cards in unsets that can change numbers by 1, and that would work. But the fact that it's you add no mana means there's nothing you can do with it.
But it's of any color.
Theoretically, you could add mana of colorless mana.
Master
that color
of
then?
Chronique Scandaleuse. What great art.
That guy's just going right into the river.
Yeah. Oh, I love this.
Love
No
a
one-
green wizard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a human wizard. No, it's a terrible mana elf because it's not an elf.
Nope.
It's also
useless.
terrible at the mana part.
Next.
3 tap triggers.
We've got last one for now.
Untapped.
Divine Matcher. 2 and a black. Sorcery. Choose one. Target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn. Or death.
I'll take death.
Yeah.
The cake.
Dibs on death.
Some days that second option is really tempting.
Guess I'll die.
Smile emoji.
You have to choose it. This is with like targeting who, right? Death. God.
I wish it said choose one or more.
Choose one that you haven't chosen before.
Yeah, you choose one or more because then you're like, all right, I'm casting Divine Matcher. I'm going to die, but I kill your Headley Ranger.
Yeah.
All right. In response, I tap Headley Ranger, floating no mana of red. Oh wow! Amazing. Thank you, RoboRosewater folks. That was terrific.
Well done on the
Thanks, Coco Mix.
polyphonic spree there, too.
Shout out to you and the other artists.